Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel Crafty Concepts with Erin. Today we're going to create a beautiful slimline card featuring this stamp set titled A World with Octobers. These pumpkins are so pretty and realistic and I love the sentiments. My favorite is I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers. And speaking of October, I'm super excited to announce the creative design team is hosting an inaugural event called the 31 Days of Christmas Cards. I will have a link in the description box below that'll take you to a website that will tell you about all the details and everything that's included in this exclusive event. Early bird pricing is available until September 20th, so you're going to want to check that out. So you can see I already have my pumpkins mounted to the door of my Misty. I'm putting down a piece of white daisy cardstock and I'm using my intense black ink. I'm going to color these in with some alcohol markers, so I want an alcohol marker friendly ink, hence the intense black. So we'll give that a good press and I'm going to go ahead and lift that up, and I missed a spot there and there. It could be that I just didn't press down, so I'm going to try that again and that looks good. There's no need to re-ink that. This is really handy when you're making a lot of cards at once because you can just kind of assembly line them through there. I was playing around with different color combinations with my TriBlend markers and I absolutely fell in love with this palette. I have burnt orange, muted brown, fair skin, and the vintage blue blend. I'm going to go ahead and play some music for you guys while I shade in these pumpkins. Don't you guys love having the coordinating thin cut dies? It just makes cutting them out so quick and easy, and then you get this nice smooth border and they're all done at once, like bam. Check out those pumpkins. Aren't those pretty? I love the vintage blue and the burnt orange together. It just awesome color combo. So I have these new Slimline dies. There's an outer frame and then an inner frame, and this is called the Slimline shaker window. I'm going to cut out this inner frame on a piece of white daisy cardstock, and I love how it has the stitching and that kind of little ruffly edge there. I'm also grabbing a pre-scored Slimline card base. This is from the Slimline Cards and Envelopes pack. And then I've pre-cut this piece. Now this is gorgeous. I love this paper. It is from the Pumpkin Spice paper pack. You can get this with the coordinating sticker sheet, or you can just get the paper pack. So I've trimmed that down to have a nice little white margin, and we have an extra piece here, and I thought I'm going to flip that over and maybe incorporate that onto the card somehow. I'm thinking if we slide it behind there, that might look good, but I want to bring in my pumpkins so I can get kind of the full visual. I do know I'm gonna, adhere this piece down, so I can go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna put some tape runner on the back, and we'll get this centered onto our card panel here. And then I love this little frame with all the detail. It's so pretty. And I'm going to put this large pumpkin in the center and then just kind of stagger these. Now there was a card in the seasonal catalog, and I'm copying the layout of their pumpkins, but it's important to spread your color out. We don't want the green pumpkins right next to each other. We want to carry that color across the card. So that's why I'm putting those pumpkins on opposite ends there. And then I'm thinking that's going to look good back there. Yes, I like it. I'm going to go for it, but I don't want to waste any of this paper. So I'm actually going to trim it down because just the top and the bottom are showing, and I can use that other piece for something else. You can tell I really love the paper, right? I want to save every last little tiny scrap. Nobody will ever know that little piece is missing. So we'll go ahead and get the top portion adhered, and then a little tape runner, and we'll get the bottom piece tacked down. And then I'm kind of thinking this card needs something sparkly and shiny. Wouldn't you agree? So let's get this tacked down, and I've got a couple ideas here involving some shimmer trim. So I'm going to grab that here in just a second. This is the rose gold shimmer trim, and I love this. It's so easy to use. It has an adhesive backing, and so I'm going to cut the ends on an angle there just so they're slightly overhanging my card panel. And I like to use like my scissors or maybe like a X-Acto knife to kind of get in between, or your fingernail to start that, just lift the corner and pull the adhesive backing off. And that's a little bit longer than I want, so we'll give a little trim on the edge there. And now some of my pumpkins I'm going to adhere directly to the card face, and then some I'll pop up with some 3D foam tape. I actually have the thin 3D foam tape, which refers to the thickness, so it still gives that shadowing and dimension, but without all the bulk, so you can easily put this in the mail. I want this big pumpkin behind the shimmer trim, which of course was an afterthought, so I'm using my little Cricut spatula just to lift that up enough so where I can slide it underneath, and I think that looks great. So I totally missed filming when I stamped the sentiment, but I took Harbor ink, and this is the stamp of the month that's coming up in October. So it's not quite available yet. It's called Wildflower Friendship, and I just took that A Little Note sentiment from that stamp set. This is the Autumn Loose Sequins, and it's a collection of different coppery colored sequins and these little golden leaves, and there's beads in there. It would make an absolutely gorgeous shaker card. But I'm using my micro glue dots, and I'm just going to put a few of these on the card face here for a little extra bling. I'm going to tuck 2 leaves behind the pumpkin here, like so, and then we'll do a couple of these copper colored sequins as well. I'm using the micro glue dots to adhere the sequins because it has a little bit of flex to it, which holds them really well. If you use a liquid glue like our blue Tombow glue, it dries kind of stiff. So if your card bends or flexes at all, it can pop those sequins off. So the micro glue dots are the best option for this application. I'm just kind of creating a little, almost kind of it's a triangle. We can make it a triangle, a visual triangle with the sequins around the embellishments, just kind of drawing your eye across the card. And I want one more little leaf. We're going to pop that behind this little pumpkin right there. So what do you guys think? Is that not the prettiest color combination on those pumpkins? I think it's the vintage blue. I just love it, and it goes so well with those patterned papers from the pumpkin spice collection. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to check the description box for the 31 Days of Christmas Cards event. I'm so excited. It's going to be really fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!